Hello friends! Why is water the most virtuous element of all? That and more we discuss in this episode on Daodejing chapter 8. Let's go! Virtue is like water. The virtue of water is that it benefits the 10,000 things but does not fight with them. Dwelling at a place that most people avoid, it is most like the Tao. When one resides in virtue, the place becomes virtuous. When one's heart is virtuous, one's virtue becomes unfathomable. When one interacts with virtue, people become virtuous. When one's words are virtuous, the people trust virtuously. When one governs with virtue, the laws will be virtuous. When one's actions are virtuous, the tasks are also accomplished virtuously. When one moves with virtue, the timing will be virtuously as well. With thoughts free of contention, they are absent of blame. Hello everyone and welcome to this chapter 8 of the great Daodejing by Lao Tzu. So, let's start. Great virtue is like water. Wow, this is a great statement, because to really understand what virtue means, and virtue is in all of Chinese philosophy, especially in Taoism and in Confucianism, the most important concept. And it's also very important for the clinic of classical Chinese medicine, because we know that if one acts virtuously, if one acts in accordance with the heart, then one stays healthy. And if one does not, one gets sick. Okay, so this has very real implications for our everyday life. So, what is virtue? Great virtue is like water. Okay, we can think about, what does water do at this point? Water always goes downwards, okay? Water puts itself always in the lowest place, okay? And that's an important thought, because by that we can see that one of the most important virtues is that of humility, okay? To take your own place in humility, so that you look up to the heavens, of course, but also to other people, that you see the strong points in other people. That is a very, very important aspect of being in the lowest place, because from the lowest place, everything else is above you. So you look up instead of thinking, oh, I'm so great, I'm so good, instead of being arrogant and looking down on other people. Okay, so that is one very important aspect of water. And so it goes on. The virtue of water is that it benefits the 10,000 things, but does not fight with them. Okay, so here we find a lot in there. So it benefits the 10,000 things. Okay, what are the 10,000 things again? For those of you who've watched my videos, you know that the 10,000 things are synonymous for everything, okay? For all things being. And in this particular sentence, I would interpret it specifically as nature, okay? Because water is benefiting nature. Water is nurturing nature. Water is absolutely necessary for all kinds of life on this planet. Without water, no life. Without water, no 10,000 things, okay? So it benefits the 10,000 things, but does not fight with them. Okay, so that is special about water, according to this line, because as water puts itself always in the lowest place, it obviously does not compete with other beings about the higher places. Okay, so water goes straight down and does not fight with other elements or other beings or nature itself. But at the same time, it is not fighting, but through going to the lowest place and seeping into the earth and nourishing the roots from below, okay? Through that process, it benefits everything else without fighting. Okay, so that is a depiction of this Taoist concept that by being weak, you become the strongest. By putting yourself behind, you become the first. We saw that in the last chapter, in chapter 7 as well. Okay, so water does not compete but benefits everything else. Okay, so that is by definition of this chapter what virtue means: benefiting others and not fighting with them. Okay, this is very important. Okay, that is the definition of virtue: benefit others and not fight with them. Okay, and put yourself lowest. Okay, that's another one. Next line: dwelling at a place that most people avoid, it is most like the Tao. Okay, and this one is so beautiful. This one is so deep and so deeply beautiful. So water goes to the lowest point, okay? And that is the place that most people naturally would avoid, okay? People do not want to be in the lowest place. They want to be high up. They want to have high ranks, okay? They want to have status. They want to have wealth, okay? They want to get as far as possible away from the lowest place. And that's where water goes to, okay? So dwelling at a place that most people avoid, it is most like the Tao. So to understand this, we can think about, okay, who is at that place that most people avoid? We could think of people who are grumpy, who are unlikable, okay, who do not know how to behave, people who have problems socializing, criminals maybe, sick people maybe, okay, people that other people would avoid, okay. So, and water is dwelling there at the place that would most people avoid, which means that water goes there, goes right to those people in this example, okay? And through going there and through interacting, spending time with, investing, caring about those who others avoid, it is most like the Tao, okay? And so that means that the most virtue, okay, is accomplished because it is most Tao-like to deal with exactly those problems, people, whatever, okay? By going there where nobody else wants to go, by caring about those nobody wants to care about, okay? You become the most virtuous. Does that make sense? It helps to understand that Tao and De, those are, so Tao, the book is called the Daodejing, so the classic of the Tao and the virtue. And one master of the Shanren Dao lineage explained it that way, that Dao is the heavenly mandate, and De is how to act out that heavenly mandate on earth. So you can think about it as two sides of the same coin. Okay, two sides of the same metal. Two sides of the same metal. So Tao is the same in a way that virtue, okay, is the same as virtue. So dwelling at a place that most people avoid, it is most like the Tao. Okay, I hope that makes sense now. And now he gives us examples. Okay, what happens if you act in accordance with water, in accordance with virtue? When one resides in virtue, the place becomes virtuous. Okay, so when you're acting virtuously, it will rub off, so to speak, on other people around you, on the whole place, and they'll change. When one's heart is virtuous, one's virtue is unfathomable. Okay, and this is, you have to understand that one's heart in Chinese, especially in classical Chinese, refers to one's mind and one's heavenly spirit. It is not the organ inside the chest, it is your whole being. Okay, so if your whole being is virtuous, your virtue is unfathomable. So yeah, unimaginable, great. When one interacts with virtue, people become virtuous. Okay, this is like 2 lines before. When one's words are virtuous, people trust virtuously. Okay, so if your words are virtuously spoken, which means are wholeheartedly spoken, honestly, then people know that they can trust you. So, and this is this Taoist principle that by acting trustworthy, you gain trust. Other people can trust you. And so if you want to be able to trust other people as well, you have to be trustworthy yourself. Okay, this is the reflection idea of Taoism. Okay. Next line. When one governs with virtue, the laws will be virtuous. Okay, so this is about an emperor or someone with power. Okay, if you want to foster virtue in your society, you have to govern virtuously and you have to make your laws virtuously, which would mean fair. Okay, fair, understandable for everyone. Not too harsh and not too soft. Okay. When one's actions are virtuous, the tasks are also accomplished virtuously. Well, of course, if you act calmly and reasonable and trustworthy and all that, of course, whatever you do, it will be done virtuously, and what comes out of it will be virtuous, okay, will be good, okay. When one moves with virtue, the timing will be virtuously as well. This one is also a great one because there is this phenomenon when we feel very aligned with ourselves and aligned with our heart, okay? Those are moments when we feel good and we just know the right moment to do something, okay? You could say, in modern language, you could say, when you go with the flow, okay? Then you act in alignment with the Tao, you act like water, you just go where life leads you. Like water is flowing down a mountain just like the mountain is grown, okay? Just like the ground is molded, the water follows without hesitation and without problems. And yeah, when one moves with virtue, the timing for acting, the timing for everything will be just right. Okay, then everything will just fall into place as water does. Okay, Now comes the last sentence, and in this, you know, if you've been following my videos, you know that these chapters in the Tao Te Ching, they are always built like, at first there is a part about how the world is. You could say that's a scientific part, an observational part about the world. And then there comes a part of how the sage acts on that. So it's about what to do with that knowledge, okay? And in this chapter, the first part is very long, and the second part is just this last line here. And it says, with thoughts free of contention, they are absent of blame. Okay, and who are they? They are, of course, the sages. Okay, those who get it. With thoughts free of contention, they are absent of blame. And this one is very, very important for a happy life, because blaming itself is emotional poison. Okay, if you blame someone else, you are in reality only hurting yourself. I mean, maybe you're also hurting the other one if he knows that you're blaming him. But in the first place, you hurt yourself because the chi of blame is hurting you. And it makes people sick. It really does. And I've seen also the opposite in my clinic, that when people change their minds and when people start to take responsibility and stop blaming others, they heal. I'm not joking here. That's real. I've seen it. I've seen serious illnesses heal because of people changing their way of looking at the life. Okay, and this is addressed here. With thoughts free of contention, they are absent of blame. Okay, and this, of course, refers also to water. If we act like water, meaning we don't seek conflict, like water, we just go with the flow. We calmly flow down the mountain, and we take our place in the lowest place possible, and we look up to others, and we are friendly, and we look at the strengths of others, and we act virtuously. Then we are free. Our thoughts are free of contention. We don't think about conflict, and we don't act in conflict. And then, of course, we are also absent of blame. We don't blame. Okay? And by that, we stay healthy. Okay? We stay healthy. And yeah, we can just enjoy life as it is. Yeah. And that's why great virtue is like water. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel and watch some more videos. You can see them somewhere here. And I hope to see you again. Bye bye.